Off to a great start at Lollapalooza. I'm Marty Leonards. We are backstage at Lollapalooza with the founder, the founding father of Lollapalooza. We're here with Perry Farrell. Perry, so nice to see you again.
Nice to see you again, Marty.
We spent a little time last night together at Galapalooza.
Yes, as we do.
Yeah, that's become a tradition, isn't it?
It has. It's grown quite a bit, hasn't it, since the first one?
It has. I think last night was at least twice as big as last year, and it's grown every year.
It has. So I'm expecting by next year, maybe it's going to fill the entire field. It's going to be its own festival.
I think it may be. You can't start Lollapalooza without Galapalooza, and it's been such a great fundraising effort for Chicago Parkways Foundation. You guys have been doing some great work for them.
Yeah, thank you. Well, very excited about refurbishing Buckingham Fountain. That was a big mission this past year. As I've come to find out, we laid down the entrance. When you walk into Buckingham Fountain, the ground itself is now speckled granite. That's what they tell me anyway. It's beautiful and solid. It used to be kind of like pebble.
It was pebbles, yeah.
Pebbles. And so when you take the golf cart on there, we just kind of slush and slide around and kind of clump up in the areas, but now it's smooth and hard and beautiful.
Right, and they fixed the plumbing. They cleaned out all the jets, and they've worked on the statuary around it.
Did they find anybody in there?
No, they didn't.
Oh, good.
There was no one there. But yeah, Galapalooza is such a nice event, and we're off to a fine start at Lollapalooza here today.
Yeah, we have gone clean already, so we're expecting 70,000 plus. You know, we sell out at around 75,000, so we're at full capacity.
So selling out for Friday night to see Kings of Leon and Depeche Mode and Andrew Bird and the Decemberists and the other bands. It's going to be quite a night here.
It sure will, and I have a feeling that the moon and everything else is going to be beautiful as a result of the early rain. I don't know. Something tells me that anyway.
Yeah. So how do you see the rest of the weekend playing out? What's exciting you about Lollapalooza this year?
Well, listen. You start with the music and you can just stay excited constantly. Friends have come onto the grounds. As Leanne Rimes came this morning and sung with me on the Kids-A-Palooza stage.
Really?
Yes.
Totally unannounced.
It was an unannounced.
That always happens at the Kids-A-Palooza stage.
I know. I think that people should kind of expect the unannounced to happen over there. And that was exciting. And I just got a message from Joe Perry. He wants to come and hang out for the weekend. So, I mean, listen, you've got the hottest acts in the country here. You've got the hottest developing acts over at Perry's and all the other side stages and smaller stages. So you can just relax and know that it's going to be a beautiful, glorious weekend.
Yeah. You know, as we look at the Lollapalooza lineup, and there's 130 bands playing here this weekend on 8 or 9 stages. And then let's go back to the first Lollapalooza in 1991. There were 7 bands.
That's right.
Do you think back in 91 you could have done a festival with 130 bands?
No. There wasn't... there wasn't a blueprint for this, and there wasn't an evolution in the music industry. We were an evolution that came as a result of the Woodstock generation. So I saw how Woodstock could gather, I don't know, they might have had 15 bands at the most, but they were stable. I saw a way to move 8 groups. Prior to that time, people moved 3 groups at a time. Really, they moved 2 groups at a time, and they picked up a local talent. Economics really drove the way things worked back in those days, because if you think about it, to pay 8 groups, if you think about the headliners, really saturate most of the purse, and the rest of the guys do it for the exposure. But to find 8 groups or 7 groups that were willing to go out there and perform and share the bounty was just the right time, because I was using alternative rock groups. They were underground groups. They weren't big, overblown, headliners that were around at the time. The hair metal groups that were demanding big salaries. We were much more cooperative, and we were, comrades at arms, so to speak. So it was able to happen then. And but then through the 90s, groups started to get it in their minds that, well, they didn't want to share the bounty. They thought they could make more money by going out there and headlining themselves. And they were right, but it made for not such a great party and not such a great value for the audience's dollar. So that's why by 1997, the model started to fail. That, coupled with the fact that there were now really amphitheaters in which that was our only choice to go in and play these amphitheaters. Amphitheaters are not good for festivals.
No.
They're good for the 3-band bill. You go and you see basically a headliner and a support and go home. At a festival, you've got all these extra things. We call them extracurricular activities. Everything from Green Street to, the DJ areas. The only place to put all these extracurricular things is in the parking lot, if you're talking about an amphitheater.
Right.
So we restructured ourselves in 2005, came here to Chicago and gave it a shot. Now, 5 years down the line, things are working better than ever for us. We have the largest attendance. We set records every year. We're the largest festival in the nation, and the most successful on many levels.
Yeah, and the most accessible. It's so easy when you're in a city center like you are here in Chicago, in this wonderful park with the amenities of a major city, hotels right across the street basically, and public transportation in and out. Yeah,
most of the festivals that you will find around the country as destinations, they find some place in the boonies. The driving experience is uncomfortable. The accommodations when you're there is uncomfortable. And the food sucks.
Yeah.
Because, they don't have room service all night. But here in Chicago, you've got everything. After parties are going off. And it's just a wonderful city. We couldn't be happier here.
Yeah, it's been a very active after-party scene here at Lollapalooza this year. Probably, it seems like more than ever before. There's so many shows, and they all sold out like within seconds.
Yeah.
You've brought a lot of bands to Chicago, not only to play in the park, but to go into the clubs as well. Which is nice.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Keep the party going.
Now, the cool thing is that you just signed, or C3 and Lollapalooza signed a deal to be in Chicago through the year 2018.
Yes.
That's pretty mind-boggling, isn't it?
It's very exciting. I'm hoping we'll make it through Armageddon and have a big party.
Now, one of the big events happening in this Lollapalooza is the reunion of Jane's Addiction. The original lineup. I have to ask you, how's Steven doing? I know he had a problem, a health problem.
Well, Steven had what looked like a water balloon hanging from his elbow. By the time he came home from our last show was in Greece. He went to the doctor and they thought he might have flesh-eating disease, so they hospitalized him and quarantined him, kept him away from his bong. But 4 days later, he was released and he celebrated, and he was told by the doctor that he couldn't come out here. And so we got a second opinion that told him that he could. So now the third opinion is Perry's opinion. The show must go on.
Yeah.
And so he will. He'll be here, and we are going to get off the greatest show we've ever done.
That's fantastic. That's coming up Sunday night. And
That's right.
You have some special things planned, like a helicopter. What is that?
Well, yeah, okay. You're giving away part of our surprises, but yes, there's going to be helicopter excitement over and in the sky over the Grand Park.
I don't think I gave away anything. I can't even imagine what that might be.
Okay, good.
So we're looking forward to the set on Sunday, and Lollapalooza is so great, and we're so happy that you stopped by to chat with us. It's always great seeing you every year.
It is a pleasure.
And I look forward to Galapalooza next year and
Me too.
Seeing you Sunday night. So thanks a lot for stopping by.
Okay. All the best. Thank you, Chicago.
Yeah. Cheers.